Welcome back to another Sunday prep day. If you're new here, every Sunday I prep for the week. So that means cutting all my vegetables and also making things that take a little bit longer. So today I'm going to make some pulled jackfruit, and also I'm going to make some pickled cucumbers. So I'm going to start off by slicing or dicing an onion, and I'll go over my meal plan. So it's Sunday today. On Sunday, I have my cheat days. Normally, I eat low-carb, keto-friendly meals for lunch. But on the weekend, I have my cheat days. And today, I'm just having some bao buns that I bought at the store, just to change things up a bit. And then for dinner tonight, I'm gonna make some chicken burgers. So I have some ground chicken. I'll do some of the pickled cucumbers I'm gonna be making. I'll do some onion, some lettuce. Just dress that up nice. Then for Monday, Meatless Monday, I'm going to make have a salad for lunch. So just a mixed salad with what I'm gonna put on there. Just some peppers, some cucumber. I don't use any dressing or anything like that. It's just not really what I'm into. And then for dinner on Meatless Monday, I'm going to make some pulled jackfruit sandwiches. So sometimes I make my own barbecue sauce for that, but this time I have a big bottle in the fridge, so I'll just use that. So, and then for Tuesday, I'm going to do some chicken with some snow peas, since I had some snow peas left over from last week, or I can do sugar snaps. I have both. We'll just see whichever I grab first. I can still mix and match a bit with the vegetables. And then for dinner, I'm gonna do some chorizo tacos. So I have some chorizo. I'll do some lettuce, maybe some onions, and some other veggies. I'm just gonna do some hard shell tacos for that. Then we're on Wednesday for lunch. I'm gonna do cauliflower mash with sausage. And then for dinner, I'm gonna do a grain bowl with some chicken. So again, I'll just use the sugar snaps or the snow peas or whatever. I have some broccoli and some cauliflower too this week, so we'll just see what I'm gonna use. So I have a couple of cloves of garlic. I'm just gonna slice them up. I don't need them too fine. So yeah, grain bowl. Then for Thursday, I'm gonna do sugar snaps or snow peas or broccoli or cauliflower again. I can choose whichever I feel that most that day, with some sausage. And then for dinner, I'm gonna do some jambalaya. That's one of the things I needed the yellow onion for, and also why I need some garlic. So again, chorizo was on sale this week, so I'm using it for a couple of meals. And then that's Thursday. Then for Friday, I'm gonna have some broccoli or cauliflower or sugar snaps or snow peas. You know the drill by now. With some grilled fish. I do fish Fridays. I have some pollock, and I think I have some bassa. So we'll just see which I'm gonna grab. And then for dinner, I still have some breaded fish, so I'm gonna do fish and chips with some potato wedges, and there's some broccoli or cauliflower, whichever I have left over. Because like I said, I'm just gonna prepare a bunch of veggies, and I'll just decide on the day which I feel like most. So there you go. One more clove. So I'm going to use these cloves for my tacos. I'm also going to throw some in with my pulled jackfruit. That's why I don't need them too fine. So there we go. And then since I have some spring onions, I just need to use them up. So I'll use them for some garnish, I'll just cut them at an angle. So, yeah, that was the whole menu. Spring onions, by the way, or scallions, or whatever you want to call them. I'm not gonna save the ends because I don't really use these very often, but you can put these in some water and they'll just grow back. Like if you put a thing like this, it completely grows back. So if you like using spring onions, by all means do that. I just use them so infrequently, it's not worth it for me to look after that, because inevitably I'll forget to water it, and yeah. So, okay, so that's all the onion things done. Then for my jambalaya, I also need some celery. So I just cut off the end, and then I'm gonna cut across, or lengthwise I should say, making long strips, because I'm gonna dice these. And then I'll just cut across, and I'm just doing 2 ribs here. That should be plenty for my jambalaya. And then here I have some carrot, just kind of cut some slices. And then I'm going to cut these again the other way, making long strips. And then I'll cut across for a dice. Next up, let's do some chilies. These are going to go in my tacos, my jambalaya. I'll just slice these up. And just doing a red and a green just for color. And then I have 2 peppers. So the red pepper I'm going to cut into some strips to go on my salad. So I like using these Anaheim peppers. They're not spicy, they're sweet. I just prefer these over like a regular bell pepper, just because they're smaller, so I can have different colors. So, and they're a lot easier to chop. Actually, I'm gonna do half of this in a slice or a strip and half in a dice, just for some color options. I'm gonna do the same with the green, but you can do a whole one in slices and a whole in dices. So, like I said, dice, 1/2, and the other half I'll just cut into strips. And I'll do the exact same thing with the green. So this diced pepper is going to go in my jambalaya. I know traditionally you would only use green, but I like having the different colors, so I'm doing green and red. Then here for my jambalaya, I have some tomatoes. So I'm just gonna, these are actually quite big, so we'll start with 3. I'm gonna cut these into slices. And then I'll cut them this way. Turn around and dice them up. And that's just gonna go in my jambalaya. Yeah, these tomatoes are a bit larger, so I think 3 is enough for that. So then next up for my fish and chips, I will need some potato wedges. So I'll just cut these into wedge shapes. And I'll just throw these in the air fryer when I want to make some chips. And that's potatoes done. Then I have some cucumbers here. I'm going to use them for my salad and also to make some pickled cucumbers, which I'll make in a moment. So first I'm going to finish cutting. So for this, I'm just going to use this little slicer mandolin thing, because this is a lot more even than cutting it by hand. Nice and thin, and when I'm pickling things, I want everything the same thickness, so I'm just gonna do 3 of these Persian cucumbers. You can use regular English cucumbers or whatever you like, but I prefer these Persian ones. when I'm done, I'm gonna fill up my jar for my pickled cucumbers, and whatever I have left over, I'll set aside for my salad. So here I have all my cucumbers. I'm just gonna fill this jar up. There we go. Before I cut up the last few things, let's get this pan on. So pan on the heat. I'll add some vinegar. I'm just using plain vinegar here. You can use rice vinegar, whichever you prefer. And I will also add a bit of water. I'll add a bit of sugar, about a tablespoon worth. You don't need that much. I might actually have to buy some sugar again soon. This has lasted me 5 years so far, so it shows you how little sugar I use. And we're also going to put in a little bit of salt. Well, yeah, we're going to bring that up to a simmer now while I work on my cauliflower and my broccoli, the last few things. So I'm going to do 1 portion worth of broccoli for probably a meal on Friday, but I could switch things around. I'm just going to make sure they're bite-sized pieces. That looks about a portion to me, so I'll save this for next time. And then I need 2 portions of cauliflower, 1 for my mash and 1 for one of the meals. So I'm going to leave as much of it on the stem as possible because I'm not using the whole thing. And if you leave it on the stem, it's going to last a lot longer in the fridge. So I'm only going to take off what I need. So this still has the stem and the leaves on it. So this is going to go back in the fridge for next week. And here I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to cut these into bite-sized pieces. Okay, that's all cutting done, and we're at 23 minutes. So while this is still working to come up to a simmer, I'm going to start preheating my Ninja Foodi on saute with a little bit of oil to get the jackfruit started. So while I wait for this to come to a simmer, the oil to heat up, I'm going to clean up for a little bit, and I'm also going to start draining my jackfruit. So I've drained my jackfruit. I'm going to cut that up in a minute, but I'm going to first start by sauteing some of these onions. I'm not going to use all of them. I'm going to save some of my onions for tonight for my burgers. Also put in some garlic, and I'll add a bit of salt. And I'm just going to let this soften for a bit. And in the meantime, I'm just going to cut these pieces of jackfruit from the... Well, it's kind of like a pineapple. When you look at it, it has like the hard core and then the more fibrous towards the end. So you're going to see here, this is the fibrous end, is like the core. And these are the softer bits. So I'm going to cut it this way to make it a little bit smaller. So it will be more like pulled pork when we're done. In the meantime, this pickling liquid has come to a simmer. So I'm just going to pour that over my pickles. And these are just the refrigerator style pickles, so you will have to keep them in the refrigerator. They're not fermented or anything like that. So just put the lid on. And I'll just let that cool, and that's ready to use on my burgers tonight, and the rest I'll find a use for it in the next couple of weeks. Well, yeah, my onions and garlic have softened, so I'm just going to add my jackfruit now that I cut up. And I'm switching my Ninja Foodi from saute to pressure cook. I'm going to add a cup of water. So I'm going to do 5 minutes, high pressure, make sure the valve is closed, and yeah, that should be done in a moment. So I just drained my jackfruit. It's completely cooked through, and I can just use some forks to shred it just like you would with some pork. And this will not have the texture of pulled pork because this is a lot softer. You don't get that chew that you get with meat, but it will look like it. And I'll also add in a little bit of smoked paprika and some chipotle just for that smoky flavor. Normally you could use liquid smoke, but it's kind of hard to get here. I know in America it's like ubiquitous, but here we don't really get liquid smoke. So I'm just going to mix that in. And then here I just have some store-bought barbecue sauce. Sometimes I make my own, like I said, but This time I'm just using the store-bought one. So I'll just mix all of that in. And this is ready to just broil tomorrow. To heat that up, I'll just put it under broiler so that it gets nice and crispy. So that's all the prep done for this week. I can now have lunch or dinner on the table in minutes. And if you like this kind of content, I do this every single Sunday. And if you want to see what I do with all the ingredients, what meals I make with it, you can check out my Instagram where I post every single meal, or you can check out my video that I post about once a month where I show you everything I eat in a day for the whole week. And I just posted one earlier in the week. So yeah, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Until next time, bye for now.